Hello there. My name is Susan. I wish someone had sat me down at 18, looked me straight in the eye, and told me this one uncomfortable truth about money. Because it would have saved me years of stress, thousands of dollars, and a version of my life that felt constantly one step behind. And I want to start with a question that might make you a little uneasy. But stay with me. If you disappeared from your job today, how long could your current lifestyle survive without a paycheck? A week? A month? Or would everything start collapsing faster than you want to admit? The reason I ask that is because most people don't actually have a money problem. They have a visibility problem. They don't see what's really going on until it's too late. And that was me for a long time. On the surface, I looked like I had things together. I had income coming in, bills getting paid, and just enough left over to feel like I was doing okay. But underneath that surface, I was making the same silent mistakes that millions of people make every single day without realizing it. Nobody teaches you how money actually works in real life. You go to school, you learn math, history, maybe even some advanced subjects. But no one teaches you how to manage a paycheck, how to think about debt, how to build something that lasts beyond the next 30 days. So what do? We copy what we see. We follow the patterns around us. Spend when we get paid, save what's left, if anything is left, and hope that somehow it all works out. But here's the part no one tells you. Hope is not a financial strategy. And the longer you rely on it, the more expensive it becomes. Let me take you back for a second, because this is where things started to shift for me. There was a point where I realized that every dollar I earned already had a job before it even hit my account. Rent, food, subscriptions, random spending. It was like my money was just passing through me, not actually staying with me. And I want you to think about your own situation right now. When money comes in, do you feel in control of it? Or does it feel like it's already spoken for? Because that question alone can tell you a lot about your financial direction. And this leads to the first lesson I wish someone had drilled into my head early on. Not saving money is not the problem. Not building a system is the problem. Most people think saving is about discipline. Like you just need to try harder or spend less. But that's not how real life works. Life is unpredictable. Expenses show up. Emotions take over. And if your entire financial plan depends on willpower, it's going to break. What changed everything for me was realizing that money needs structure. It needs a system that works even when you're tired, distracted, or not paying attention. And here's a simple way to think about it. What if every time you got paid, a portion of that money disappeared before you even had the chance to spend it? Not lost. Just moved somewhere it could grow. That one shift automating saving and investing turns money from something you manage occasionally into something that works for you consistently. But let me ask you something. If you had an unexpected expense tomorrow, car repair, medical bill, job disruption, would you be using your savings? Or would you be reaching for a credit card? And be honest with yourself here, because this is where the second lesson comes in. And it's one that a lot of people ignore until it hurts. The emergency fund is not optional. It's survival. I used to think emergency funds were for people who were overly cautious or paranoid. I thought, I'll just figure it out if something happens. But life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It just happens. And when it does, the difference between a small setback and a financial spiral is often just a few $1,000 sitting quietly in an account you hoped you'd never need. I remember a moment when something unexpected hit my finances, and I didn't have that cushion. And suddenly, every decision became stressful. Every expense felt heavier. And I realized something that stuck with me. Financial stress isn't just about numbers. It's about lack of options. When you don't have a buffer, your choices shrink. You take on bad debt, delay important decisions, and feel trapped in ways that are hard to explain unless you've experienced it. So here's a question I want you to sit with for a second. How much peace of mind is sitting in your bank account right now? Not how much money. How much peace? Now here's where things start to get interesting, because once you build that foundation, you start seeing money differently. You stop thinking short term and start asking bigger questions. And this is where the third lesson comes in. And honestly, this is the one that changed my entire trajectory. Time matters more than amount. Let me explain what I mean by that, because this is where most people get it completely wrong. People think you need a lot of money to start investing. They think, I'll invest when I have more. But what if I told you that waiting is actually the most expensive decision you can make? Think about this for a second. If two people invest, one starts at 25 and the other starts at 35, but the first person invests less money overall, there's a very real chance they still end up with more in the end. Why? Because of time. Because of compounding. Because money that starts working earlier has more time to multiply. And yet most people delay it. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until it feels comfortable. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It will never feel like the perfect time. And I want to ask you something that might change the way you look at your current situation. What is the cost of waiting one more year to take your finances seriously? Not emotionally. Numerically. Because every year you delay is not just a year lost. It's years of growth that never happen. That's the part that hit me hard when I finally understood it. It wasn't just about what I wasn't doing. It was about what that inaction was costing me in the future. And this is where I started connecting the dots. I realized that most financial mistakes aren't dramatic. They're quiet. They're small decisions repeated over time. Spending a little more than you should. Saving a little less than you could. Waiting a little longer than you should. And over time, those small decisions compound into a reality that feels hard to escape. But here's the good news. The opposite is also true. Small, smart decisions, repeated consistently, can completely change your life. Now, before we go further, I want you to think about this. If you could go back 5 years and give yourself one piece of financial advice, what would it be? And more importantly, why haven't you acted on that advice yet today? Because chances are, you already know more than you think. The issue isn't knowledge. It's action. And in the next part, I'm going to share the moment everything clicked for me. The one realization that forced me to completely rethink how I approached money, risk, and my future. And trust me, this is the part most people avoid, because it challenges everything we've been told about what it means to be financially secure. And that realization started with a number I had been completely ignoring for years. A number that was quietly controlling my life without me even realizing it. And I want you to think about this for a second before I tell you what it is. What percentage of your income actually stays with you at the end of the month? Not what you earn. Not what you spend. What you keep. Because that number, more than anything else, determines your financial future. For the longest time, I focused on increasing my income. I thought that was the solution to everything. If I could just make more money, everything else would fall into place. And yes, increasing your income matters. But here's what I didn't understand back then. If your lifestyle grows at the same rate as your income, you are running in place. And the scary part is, it doesn't feel like you are. You feel like you're progressing. You upgrade your apartment, your car, your habits. And suddenly, you're making more money than ever. But somehow, you still feel tight at the end of every month. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever gotten a raise or started earning more? And instead of feeling free, you just adjusted your life to match it? Because that's lifestyle inflation. And it's one of the biggest traps that keeps people from ever building real wealth. It's silent, it feels deserved, and it convinces you that you're doing well, while quietly keeping you stuck. The moment everything changed for me was when I stopped asking, how much do I make? And started asking, how much do I keep and grow? That shift sounds small, but it changes everything. Because now, every financial decision gets filtered through a different lens. It's no longer about affordability. It's about alignment. Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should. And that's a hard truth. Especially in a world that constantly tells you to upgrade your life. Here's a question I want you to really sit with. Are you building a lifestyle or are you building a future? Because sometimes those two things are in direct conflict. And most people don't realize it until years have passed. This is where the biggest aha moment hit me. I realized that financial freedom is not about having a high income. It's about having control. Control over your time, your choices, and your ability to say no. And control doesn't come from spending more. It comes from needing less and investing the difference wisely. I started looking at money differently. Instead of seeing it as something to spend, I started seeing it as something that could buy me time. Every dollar saved and invested wasn't just money. It was future freedom. It was optionality. It was the ability to make decisions without being backed into a corner. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine two people making the same income. One spends almost everything they earn, upgrading their life along the way. The other lives slightly below their means and consistently invests the difference. Fast forward 10 years. One person needs their job to survive. The other has options. Same income, completely different outcomes. And the difference wasn't luck. It was behavior. Now here's something most people don't talk about. Building wealth is actually kind of boring. It's not flashy. It's not exciting. It's consistent, repetitive, and sometimes even feels slow. And that's why most people don't stick with it. They're looking for quick wins, big moves, something dramatic. But real financial progress comes from doing the simple things over and over again, even when it doesn't feel like it's making a difference. So let me ask you this. Are you chasing excitement, or are you building consistency? Because those two paths lead to very different places. And here's another layer to this that took me a while to understand. Debt. Not all debt is bad, but misunderstanding debt is dangerous. I used to treat debt casually. If I could make the monthly payment, I thought it was fine. But I wasn't thinking about the long-term cost. I wasn't thinking about interest, opportunity cost, or how that debt limited my future choices. Every dollar going toward interest is a dollar that's not working for you. And over time, that adds up in ways most people underestimate. So the question becomes, is your debt helping you move forward, or is it quietly holding you back? Now, I'm not saying you need to eliminate every form of debt overnight, but you do need to understand it. You need to know what it's costing you, not just monthly, but over time. Because once you see the true cost, your behavior starts to change naturally. And here's something I wish someone told me earlier. Financial clarity is more powerful than financial perfection. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need the perfect plan. But you do need awareness. You need to know where your money is going, what it's doing, and whether it's aligned with the life you actually want. So let me ask you one final question. If your current financial habits don't change, where will you be 5 years from now? Not where you hope to be, where your current path is actually taking you. Because that answer can be uncomfortable. But it's also incredibly powerful, because once you see it clearly, you have the chance to change it. And that's really what this whole video is about. It's not about being perfect with money. It's not about extreme sacrifice or cutting out everything you enjoy. It's about being intentional. It's about understanding the game you're playing and making decisions that move you forward instead of keeping you stuck. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. The earlier you take control of your money, the easier everything becomes later. Not because life gets simpler, but because you've built a foundation that can handle it. So here's what I want you to do right now. Think about the one money lesson you wish you learned earlier. The one thing that, if you had known it 5 or 10 years ago, would have changed your situation today. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I promise you, someone else out there needs to hear it too. And if this video made you think differently about your money, about your habits, or about your future, make sure you subscribe to Charanet Invests. Because every week, we break down real financial strategies in a way that actually makes sense for real life. Your future is being shaped by the decisions you make today. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now.